Okay, students. So now we are going to understand the concept of MQTT topics. What is message queue telemetry transfer? Some topics. Topic means there are different levels to sending the data. For example, that may be a temperature to multiple clients. We will use multiple wildcards, multi-level wildcards. For the single client, we will use the single wildcard. So what is a wildcard? So generally if you understand what is a wildcard, I will write you. Wildcard means if it is a client and it is a server. One second, I will go for 1 second. I will wrap it. I will explain you what is a wildcard in the purpose of programming. Purpose of programming here. The programming. In programming, we have a server. Generally, we have a server. Server consisting of the business logic. Server consisting of the business logic. These all are clients. These all are clients. There are number of clients are there. These all clients may be or may not be connected with a single network. For example, these all connected to a single network. If this particular client makes the request to the MQTT broker, if it is the MQTT clients, that may be IoT devices. These all are IoT devices, for example. These all are IoT devices. That means MQTT clients, MQTT clients, for example. MQTT clients, client 1, client 2, client 3. This is the message broker. Message broker, we can say message broker. So message broker will get the data from publishers. Publishers means it is also type of a servers. It is also type of a servers. This server is also it is having some sensor. Sensor is always senses some information. So this information will be sensed and published to the message broker. So message broker is an intermediate server, we can say, and uses intermediate software. So whenever anybody publishes, then they will use the exact response. Whenever somebody subscribe to the particular service, then they will make a particular response. Not only a single subscriber will be there, there are number of publishers will be there. Another publisher is having another type of service. So this is also interacted with message broker. Okay, that is the concept of message broker is the intermediate between the uh, MQTT servers and MQTT clients. Okay, we are discussing the concept of wildcards. What is a wildcard? We all know that concept of what is the concept of client server architecture. So server is having some business logic, is having some business logic, and client is always having some client application. It is making request to the server and getting response to the server. Okay, so in between anybody will hack. So that for that particular purpose we have different types of protocols are there. Different types of protocols, that is known as, here we have a plain text, here also we have a plain text. So plain text is converted to encrypted text. Encrypted text will move through the communication channel, then again encrypted text will convert it to plain text at the client level. This is the process, we know that. But what is a wildcard? Wildcard means whenever it is transferring in the form of zeros and ones, binary, zeros and ones. So anybody makes the request of single level means individual client only, single level. That means, so the information will be splitted using a plus. Again zeros and ones. So then plus is a wildcard. So based on the data, this is the data, this will be splitted by plus symbol. That means other. So whenever it is in the communication channel, we are transferring the data. Okay, this is the transferring of data. This data will be splitted using a wildcard. The wildcard is plus. For multiple layers, in multiple layers, we will use hash. So hash is a wildcard whenever transferring the information. Okay, let me understand through points. Let me understand through points. What are the points here? So MQTT topics. A topic is a simple string, because of string can be transferred from one area to another area, because string can be converted to encrypted text or binary text very easily. That can have more hierarchical levels. There are lots of hierarchical levels are there, which are separated by slash. So that means if you are in D directory and under that there is a Rajesh folder, under that there is an IoT folder was there. So generally how we are knowing that the slash is a wildcard, so where I am, in which directory I am, it is telling. Similarly, that whenever we are transferring the data, we are getting the live information. We have different levels of data that will be obtaining from the servers. A sample topic for sending the temperature data of a living room could be house living room temperature. That means in house, in the living room there is a temperature, in house there is some storeroom temperature. Like this, based on that where is what temperature we are getting, we will understand it through slashes. Where I am, what type of temperature I am getting through slash. Slash is also a simple string. Slash is a wildcard here. On one hand, the client example mobile device can subscribe to the exact topic, or on the other hand, it can use a wildcard. What is the meaning of that? On one hand, whenever subscribing exact topic means any data, temperature. On other hand, there was a wildcard. Without wildcard, what is the data we cannot know. Okay, this is one of the MQTT topic. Whenever transferring of information, MQTT topic was there. Next, the subscriber, the subscription to house plus temperature plus is an wildcard here, would result in all messages sent to a previously mentioned topic, that is house living room temperature, as well as any topic with an arbitrary value in the place of living room, such as house by kitchen temperature, etc. Here what is plus will do? Here in previously I told that plus is the separator between the two different messages. Here in this particular point he is telling that plus is a wildcard. Plus tells that in house there may be any living room or kitchen or any storeroom or anything, any arbitrary value we can consider in the single level purpose. For single level wildcard, this is a single level. In the case of more than one level needs, we will use the multi-level wildcard. If more than one level needs to subscribe, such as the entire subtree, there is also a multi-level wildcard. There is also a multi-level wildcard. It allows you to subscribe all the underlying hierarchy levels. For example, under house, there will be different types of arbitrary values. That may be a room, that may be a room, or that may be anything under house, any particular arbitrary value it will be considered. Under that anything, any other value will be going to be considered. Multiple levels. Then we will use hash is the MQTT wildcard here. There is plus is the in single level we use plus. Okay, this is the concept. What are the applications of MQTT? If you go for applications of MQTT, where we are using in online chat of Facebook Messenger, we use MQTT protocol, and Amazon Web Services we use MQTT Amazon IoT for tracking of product information. Through MQTT protocol only we are getting the exact data. Facebook messengers, there are many to many, we can chat many people, so then the chat box will act as a Facebook messenger. So they, in that particular Facebook messenger we are using MQTT protocol. And Microsoft Azure IoT Hub uses MQTT as its main protocol for telemetry messages, because Microsoft Azure, so my Azure is like a, whenever we are developing the MVC applications regarding .NET and any other areas, we will use the Microsoft Azure. It's like an IoT hub. So whenever we are considering the IoT, so it is used to transmission of the services to the multiple clients easily. Uh, that means if I am using a Microsoft Azure, I develop a .NET application. Using a .NET application, I can find a service very easily, because in Microsoft Azure they are using the MQTT protocol. The everything IoT platform is uses MQTT. So because of, I already tell that in web application they are using HTTP protocols, and in IoT, most of the IoT application, whenever many to many transmission are there, many services are there, many clients are there, any client makes any type of service, then we are going to use MQTT. In the case of single to single, we are using COAP, we will discuss later. The everything IoT platform uses MQTT as an MQTT protocol for millions of connected products. Adafruit, Adafruit, somebody may, if you work with Arduino software, we can easily find the Adafruit library from the cloud. For different types of cloud services, we have an Adafruit library. We can easily install. There are number of functions under that. We will use that particular functions. We are directly interacted with the free clouds. That is the concept of Adafruit. Adafruit launched a free MQTT cloud service. That means freely temperature or messages to your friends very easily will transfer one IoT device to another IoT device through Adafruit library. Adafruit is the one of the application. Okay, one of the library, one of the type of technology we can say. So these are, in Adafruit we are using MQTT protocol. In most of the IoT platforms we are using MQTT. Microsoft Azure using MQTT. Amazon Web Services is using MQTT. Facebook Messenger is using MQTT. These all are the different applications of MQTT. Next, we know that what is MQTT, what is the process of MQTT, what is the working process of MQTT. If you want to provide the security, then it becomes SMQTT. See here, secure MQTT is an extension of MQTT which uses the encryption based on lightweight attribute based encryption. So we know that the data will be transferred over the network, and the network must have an encryption and decryption techniques for converting plain text to encryption text and encryption text to plain text. It is very much needed. So this same thing is extended for SMQTT. So based on lightweight attributes, whenever we are considering the lightweight means very lengthless attributes. The main advantage of using such encryption is broadcast encryption feature, in which one message is encrypted and delivered to the multiple other nodes. So once it was encrypted, it can be, after encryption we can transfer the data to any number of devices, because it was already encrypted, which is quite common in IoT applications. In general, the algorithm consisting of main stages like setup, encryption, publication, and decryption. Everyone knows that what is encryption, what is decryption, these things. uh, Students, I think you understand the concept of SMQTT. We are providing the extra layer like security to MQTT, that is SMQTT. So in the setup phase, the subscribers and publishers registers themselves to the broker and get a master secret key according to the developer's choice of the key generation algorithms. When the data published, it is encrypted and published by broker, which sends it to the subscribers, which is finally decrypted at the we know the concept of subscription and publishing. Because of publisher will publish the data always, subscriber will ask a certain data through subscribe. Message queue broker is MQTT broker is the intermediate person. He will deliver a particular message to a particular client based on the service request. So here always it will be encrypted and decrypted. So whenever data was published, it will be, whenever the sender will generate some data, that data must be encrypted whenever it is transferring to the network. The key generation and encryption algorithms are not standardized because of there are lots of algorithms we will use for the security purpose. SMQTT is proposed only to enhance MQTT security features. Okay, it is only like everything like MQTT it is getting from MQTT, but some security features was applying to the, so enhances to the MQTT. That is the main thing.